Righty. Hey, what's up guys? My name is MC. For those of you new around here, I am all about filmmaking, teaching you how to filmmake better, travel, vlogs, cinematics, just generally helping you guys out, making your filmmaking better. So today I'm talking once again about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K. I'm just gonna call it the Pocket 6K. It's so much easier. All right, so this camera is all over social media right now. It's huge. It's just like, oh my God, 2.5 grand for 12-bit RAW, oh my God! So I just wanted to touch base real quick on a few things that I thought some people may not be aware of when it came to this camera. It's come to my attention a few details as well that I missed out when I made my previous video about this camera, where I spoke about the fact I may sell my red for this camera, and honestly I'm still thinking about that, but that's for another video. So the Pocket 6K can shoot 6K 12-bit RAW, Blackmagic RAW, which is amazing. But here are some things that you may not have known. It can only shoot RAW at, let me just read my notes. It can only shoot RAW at 6K, 5.7K, 3.7K, and 2.8K. Those are the only resolutions that it can shoot RAW in. So that means it can only shoot 4K, Ultra HD, which is like near 4K, and then HD in ProRes. So this isn't the biggest deal to me because coming from a red, I always shot in RAW. Like red RAW is just like, you have it, why wouldn't you use it? That's part of why you buy a red camera. So if I did get the Pocket 6K, I would just always shoot in RAW anyway, probably 12:1 for like the really good compression, especially for YouTube. Like the compression I would use would always depend on like the project. So if it was just a YouTube video, I mean, I say just, but like if it was a YouTube video, I'd probably shoot a 12:1 compression. That way you can film RAW to an SD card. Just gonna let that sink in. RAW 12-bit to an SD card, to one of these. Well, specifically it has to be 300 megabits per second read and write speed, otherwise it won't work. This is a 95 megabit, but the one I have in my camera right now is 300 megabits per second read and write. But 12-bit RAW, anyway, sorry, this is not what I was going to be talking about this video. It's just like, that just blows my mind. Like the SD card that I just spoke about, that cost me in Singapore, I think $300. That's about 150 pounds, so probably like 160, 170 US, right? That's really cheap when you compare it to a red mini mag, which costs like a 480 gig mini mag costs me about 1,200 pounds. So there's that. The next thing I wanted to point out is that a lot of people who are looking at this camera, they may be coming from a DSLR or mirrorless background, or rather that's what they own right now. And you need to know that this is not a mirrorless camera. It is not a DSLR. This is a very compact cinema camera. So let me just show you what a cinema camera looks like. So all of this is for my red Scarlett W. So with red cameras, how it works is you buy the brain, which is literally, it's just this gray box. It's just the gray box. So then you have to purchase the lens mount. That's right, you have to purchase the lens mount because there's so many different kinds. So you can get a Nikon, a PL mount, which is a positive lock mount, EF, which is what I have. You can get, what are all the other brands? You can literally get all the other brands. But yeah, so it's not like buying an adapter, which may be a few $100s. It's like $500 for a lens mount. Anyway, then you have to buy the I/O expander, which gives you your in and out ports. So you have HDMI, headphone jack, microphone input, DC power in, and SDI input, control and sync, and USB and whatever, right? And it also lets you put a battery on the back. So there's all that. That's about, the brain alone, I think is like, I got it for 9,500 pounds, but then after I bought it, it jumped back up to being 12,000 pounds. So there's that. That's about like, I'm gonna say 1,300 US. Then you need a way to hold it. Here comes the side handle, which is about 750 pounds. But then also, you know, if you want to do some low shots, you need to buy a top handle. This is from Small Rig, so it's relatively cheap and affordable. So then you just slide that on. And now you may be thinking, well, I want to go film. Oh, but how do I see what I'm doing? Here comes a 2,700 pound monitor. Now, the one good thing about Reds is that there's no cables, like because their system works so well together. They just like, everything just screws in to the brain and then it just, no cables, which is awesome, but it's very expensive. Okay, great, ready to film, right? I mean, obviously I need a lens. Oh, but wait, I need something to record footage onto. I'll just spend $1,000 for about an hour and a half of recording time. This was meant to be about a Pocket 6K. It's just becoming a rant about how fucking expensive Reds are. Oh, and then you need a way to power it, so you slap on a battery. Now, other systems don't have this. You have to use cables to connect everything. But like this, you know, it was a relatively small package, and now you've had to add on something, so you can add power. You've had to add on ways to hold it. You've had to add a monitor. Then you would add a lens. If you wanted to pull focus wirelessly, you'd have to put on a bottom plate so you can put some rails on, so then you can put a follow focus system on, and then attach the, like, I don't know if you're using the thumb control or if you have a second person doing it, a way for them to do it. And if you know, you have to add on things. It isn't going to be an A7S II where you can whip it out, hit record, and then get that shot. Now, having said that, it can actually be a whip it out, hit record, and shoot camera, but you will only get 45 minutes of recording time in 6K RAW. I mean, the Pocket 4K had bad battery life, but the thing is, Blackmagic made this camera and they intended for you, the user, to always slap on an extra battery because that's how you're meant to use it. It's a cinema camera is always meant to have external power, or, you know, a V-Lock plate, a V-Lock battery or whatever, right? The good news is, whereas V-Lock batteries only run this camera for about 2 hours, that's a 90 or 98 watt hour battery at least. The Pocket 6K can run a lot longer on a 90 watt V-Lock battery. 90 watt hour V-Lock battery, Jesus Christ. So there's that. So if you're coming from a mirrorless and you think you can just buy this camera and get amazing cinematic footage out of it, you can, but you need to realize that you can't treat it like a mirrorless for all of your professional gigs. If you want to get the full capabilities out of it, you'll need to get an external monitor because the monitor doesn't tilt. The side handle on the Red is a good comparison. You'll definitely need to get a handle of some sort, a top handle or a side handle. If I were to get it, I'd probably get both. Just top handle for low shots and the side handle just to hold it comfortably and also give you a bit more stability while you're holding it because you don't want to be like shaking the camera. And then also you need to think about audio. So that is something I really dislike about the Red. There's no XLR inputs. The Blackmagic has a mini XLR input which provides phantom power. For those of you who don't know what phantom power is, it basically, hang on. So this is a Rode NTG2. Great shotgun mic, cost me about like $300 back in Singapore. So like, again, 150 here in pounds, 160 in US dollars, probably. Maybe it's more than that actually, I don't remember. But anyway, this has been like replaced by the NTG3 and NTG4, which are better, but whatever. This is a great directional shotgun mic. I can plug this in to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K via a XLR to mini XLR cable. I cannot plug this in to my Red unless I use an XLR to to like mic input jack port. But that doesn't provide phantom power, which means this won't be as effective. So basically, the things I'm talking about are you need to think about how you're going to be rigging out the camera, because you will definitely need to rig it out if you want to get the best out of it. There are a lot of rig examples on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K that you can watch around YouTube. I'll recommend one down in the description below because I forgot his name, but he made a really cool rig with the tilted cage. It was just like, the video was really cool too, but the rig system is what I was interested in. I was like, that's a really good setup. It was like the wireless follow focus and the cage and everything, top handle, the monitor. It was very well done. So these are things you only think about. So you will buy the camera for $2.5 grand, and then you'll probably spend 500 to 1,000 more of your currency rigging it out so that you can use it as best as you can. Bear in mind, V-Lock batteries are not cheap. You can get some cheaper ones, like $150 ones. Some off-brand ones, like this is an Anton Bauer one. I did not pay for this. I got this for free in an Instagram competition, which is pretty cool. This is very expensive. It's at least 300 pounds or dollars. I think it's more, maybe it might be 400. I have other ones from Hawkwoods, which is a UK company. They make very, very tiny batteries, which is useful because V-Lock batteries, again, are also very heavy. So those are like 300 pounds at the minimum, I think. So around $300-ish in US. Yeah, these are just all things you need to think about. You need to think about the fact that you'll be buying the camera, but you also have to buy the system around the camera to get the best out of the camera. And you need to think about the fact that if you want to shoot ProRes or if you want to shoot RAW, you can only do it in certain resolutions. It's just like a quick, I say quick, but I'm pretty sure this is a 10-minute video now. A quick little update about like things you may have missed, because I didn't know this at the time when I made the last video. I just thought it'd be very useful to you guys to know. So that's kind of it. Gonna be releasing a video soon that's quite, I don't want to say emotional, but like quite, oh my god, about something. So yeah, anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Stay tuned for future videos. Please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you to all the recent subscribers, by the way. Like, I've been growing like daily now, which is really, really sick. I really do want to make YouTube like my career, which would be awesome. I'd love to be like maybe the UK Peter McKinnon. Ooh, that'd be so cool. Nah, I don't need to be someone else. I can be me. Thanks so much for watching the video, guys. See you next one. Peace.